The Galactic Council chamber was a cathedral of glass and light, its vaulted ceiling shimmering with holographic banners of 100 species. Delegates from every known civilization had gathered to celebrate a new age. An age without war. The first and most sacred decree of this Age of Harmony was simple. All projectile weapons were banned. No railguns, no coil guns, no chemical propellants, no plasma bolts. The Council claimed that removing ranged weapons would end conflict. It worked, for everyone except humanity. When the human delegation arrived, led by Colonel Marcus Vance, the guards scanned their luggage. No firearms, no explosives. Perfect. They cleared him for entry. Then Vance stepped into the hall, and the sound of metal echoed like a storm. Every step he took clinked. Blades gleamed from his boots, forearms, belt, chest, even his back. Short knives, long knives, folding knives, throwing knives. 47 of them in total, each perfectly balanced and razor-edged. The hall fell silent. Ambassador Zelthor of the Zenari gaped, her mandibles twitching. "Human delegate, you were instructed to come unarmed." Vance smiled politely. "And I am. There are no projectile weapons here." "You are covered in blades," hissed another alien, his 4 eyes narrowing. "Correct," said Vance. "You banned projectiles. You never said anything about steel." The council chamber erupted into arguments. 100 species chattering, buzzing, hissing in outrage. Vance simply folded his arms and waited, calm as a mountain. When order was restored, the presiding chair being, a massive crystalline entity named Orith Ka, spoke in its resonant tone. "Humanity's interpretation of the ban is creative." Vance grinned. "Creative is how we survive." During the negotiations, the humans sat quietly while the others debated abstract notions of universal peace. Species who had evolved in perfect safety couldn't understand what it meant to fight for survival. But the humans, descendants of predators, explorers, warriors, did. When a rival delegate accused humanity of savage tendencies, Vance leaned forward, his voice low and steady. "Savage? Maybe, but every advance your people enjoy, medicine, faster-than-light travel, terraforming, all of it came from struggle. You remove struggle, you remove progress." The council murmured uneasily. "And these knives?" Zelthor asked. "Do they symbolize your struggle?" "No," said Vance, unstrapping a slim combat blade from his thigh and placing it on the table. "They symbolize adaptation. You can ban the tools we use, but you'll never stop us from finding new ones." Then came the test. Halfway through the session, a small explosion rocked the building. Sabotage by a rogue faction protesting the peace treaty. The lights dimmed, and armed guards, aliens trained in hand-to-hand combat, stormed in, dragging hostages. The attackers sneered at the unarmed diplomats, but they'd forgotten about the human. Vance moved before anyone else could react. Smooth, deliberate, efficient. A knife left his hand, then another, spinning flashes of silver that crossed the air faster than eyes could track. 3 hostiles fell before they even registered the motion. He didn't miss a single throw. By the time the last attacker reached for a weapon, Vance had closed the distance, blade in hand, calm as ever. One clean motion, and the threat was over. The hostages were freed, and silence once again filled the chamber. He resheathed his knives one by one as if nothing unusual had happened. "You can make all the rules you want," he said, turning back to the council, "but remember this. Peace only exists when someone's willing to enforce it." Later, the council convened an emergency meeting. There were calls to reprimand him, to ban all forms of weaponry, bladed or otherwise. But then came the reports. No casualties, all hostages saved, and the humans' actions prevented a massacre. Even Orith Ka, the crystalline chair being, spoke in his defense. Perhaps, peace is not the absence of arms, but the presence of resolve. The motion to further ban melee weapons failed by a wide margin, and from that day forward, the phrase Vance Protocol became galactic slang, meaning a human solution to a non-human problem. Weeks later, back on Earth, Marcus was summoned before the Human Defense Council. 47 knives? His superior asked. Vance shrugged. 48, actually, sir. They missed one in the boot. The general blinked. Do you realize you've just rewritten intergalactic law? Vance smiled. Just doing my job, sir. They banned bullets, not brains. Moral. You can ban our tools, our weapons, even our rules. But you'll never ban what makes us human. Our adaptability, defiance, and will to survive. Because wherever humanity goes, the universe learns. We don't play by the limits. We redefine them.